Do you ever encounter those women that just breeze through life as if they never go through any troubles? They are just beautiful, they are bouncy, they are full of energy, and they are a literal star. They are the main character. Today we're going to talk about how you can become one yourself without compromising your values and changing who you truly are. If it's your first time here, hello, my name is Zona Davani. You are welcome. To become part of the family, you simply have to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell next to it. Think of your favorite movie and the star in that movie. Think about all the twists and turns in their lives and how you are rooting for them to win in that particular movie. How everything is centered around them, that whatever story that you see, it will center back to them. They are pursuing something that is very near and dear to their hearts, and they documenting every element to that journey and embracing it, of course. Now think of yourself. You can apply the same exact principles into your own life and live that main character energy. The energy is about understanding and knowing your value and moving in such a way that you don't compromise on those. You uphold them as much as you can, respecting your journey, embracing it, and trying to get the best experience out of any cards that life may have dealt you. Just trying to find that glimmer of hope in any experience. You have a knowing that in this story, the character that is you is going to have a happy ending. You simply are participating to go towards that happy ending. Before we go any further in this conversation though, it is worth noting that main character energy is not to be mistaken with narcissism or extreme levels of selfishness. This is purely for your own growth, not to the detriment of others, but paying full attention to you as the main character in your own life, not trying to impose yourself to become a main character in other people's lives or other people's stories. Comment down below if it is making sense what I'm talking about when I talk about exuding that main character energy. If you don't get it, don't worry. As we delve into all these different points that you can use to cultivate this energy within you, we will get an even deeper understanding of main character energy. I can't stop thinking about that song whenever I say main character energy. So the first thing you need to do to establish and to nurture your main character energy is to define it for yourself. What are the things that are most valuable in your journey? What does it mean to you to become the main character in your own story? What are the elements that you feel you need to embrace more in your life? What matters more? Just get to know yourself more as the character. What do you like? How do you like to show up in the world? How's your personality? Are you outgoing? Are you introverted? You will start to embrace all these qualities when you have taken the time to know them. Then you can truly understand and love them when you have taken the time to identify what the main character that is you is formed of. When we are being introduced to a main character in a movie or in a story, we will see them shown in their living spaces. You can tell a lot about them from the spaces that they live in. You'll see like nice gardens if the person is artistic, the main character, or you will see books. All these things that depict the character. See them because they are trying to shape an understanding of who this character is. So you will do the same with your own life. Find out what makes you tick, what fills up the spaces that you live in, what kind of music do you like, what kind of outfits do you like. That is the beginning and the foundation of you understanding yourself as the main character. To define these terms of what a main character is like to you for yourself, so that you don't find yourself falling into traps of what people consider to be a main character. It needs to be you, because this is about you. These are the steps that you are taking to improve the quality of your own life, to set yourself free from other people's expectations, as well as this main character. These strong convictions within ourselves, but we are easily swayed because we feel like, okay, we need to be more accommodative of people. Of course, it's okay to be open to learning new things, but the more you learn is the more you should be rooting yourself within your own core values and views. You have determined your own set of values and you trust those values. You start acting according to what you have established to be what is right for you as the main character. You start moving in such a way that you know who you are, you know your worth, and you trust the decisions that you are making. Having a set of values that is determined by either your faith or your upbringing, or just taking the time to invest in learning about something to help shape your values, helps you stay firm in your convictions, to trust them, because you know you have a foundation for what you are believing in, and therefore you won't be easily swayed into becoming a supporting role when you could be a star in your own life. It also means that the things that you truly desire for yourself, you start becoming unapologetic about them. When you are bold and open in your convictions and your desires in all the different areas of your life, you start to cultivate that main character energy. When you start to cultivate your main character energy, it's important that you don't compare yourself with other people. You are very comfortable with who you are. You are settled in the star that you are. You are settled in the person that you are. With everything that you do, you're not trying to outdo anyone, or you don't gauge how great you are at things by how other people are doing. You are just you, and you are centered within yourself. As you start to embrace your main character energy, you will also have to set some boundaries. You will have to learn to say no in some instances. You will have to avoid being a walkover. I've had a video where I talked about being a nice girl and how dangerous this may be. This world will suck you dry if you are all about yes, yes, yes. This is not about being mean, but rather knowing when to stop. Whether it's giving your time, giving your energy, giving your money, giving your attention, you need to learn to have a stop with everything that you do. You can't live a life of just completely giving and agreeing to everything. You need to have a set of boundaries that you're very clear about, that you communicate well and maturely to whoever is trying to push them. You are looking out for your well-being, your mental well-being, your physical well-being, your financial well-being. I do talk about people pleasing at great lengths. As a main character, it doesn't go well for you to be a people pleaser as well. You cannot be a main character and a people pleaser at the same time, because this will hinder your story from getting to where it needs to be. This will hinder your life from reaching the lengths and the heights that you have potential to reach if you are easily swayed and bamboozled, shifted all over the place because you cannot say no. Please make sure to interact in the comment section and share what do you think of these points that we have discussed up to so far. If you are enjoying this video up to so far, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. As a main character in your own life story, you have to stop chasing. You are the main character. Chasing anything is not a good look for you. In romantic relationships or even platonic relationships where you are constantly pouring yourself and chasing and that is never reciprocated, that will tire you, and it's not giving main character at all to keep forcing yourself in spaces where you are clearly not wanted. You are very much aware, and not in a bad manner, like not in like extreme levels where you are extremely judgmental of people, but you are good at observing how you are received. You don't overstay your welcome in spaces. As a main character, it is not for you to chase. It could be even in careers, because the minute you are so busy chasing something, you stop being the main character. It becomes the main character in your life. It runs you. The first thing that you think about in the morning will be that. It's not you and how you can nurture and embrace yourself, how you can grow yourself, how you can move your body that particular day. We live in the social media age. Once we start to obsess about who's following us, how many subscribers do we have, that tends to steal from our main character energy. It's one of the reasons I take breaks from time to time. It's very easy to fall into this trap, especially when you work in the space and you have your targets that you have set for yourself. You will find yourself chasing and chasing. It is exhausting mentally and physically. I've actually taken the decision to continue with things as a passion without that hunger and forceful and fighting and chasing manner of pushing these numbers, not sleeping, dishing out that content. I feel like the harder we push and we chase these things is the more we lose the sense of our main character. This whole thing of being a main character in your own movie is basically just you being in a good space mentally, physically, and spiritually. Once we start to idolize these things, we shift away from that and we stop completely being the main character, and we allow those things to be the star, to be the center of everything that we are. You put in the reasonable work that you need to put into any of these things. What is meant for you will always come to you. As a main character chick, you don't chase, you attract. I feel like I will always come back to this line. This is something that I feel really strongly about. You become so effortless and so at peace when you are not busy chasing. Sometimes you're chasing and you're competing with people that don't even know that they are in a race with you. This may be in the career side of things. You are busy comparing yourself, chasing those numbers because you are in this mental race with other people while they are busy focusing on their lane. So it's really important not to chase anything as a main character chick. The next one is to romanticize your life. In any story, there will always be even those finer details, like you see the character driving home from work, or even riding a train, watching the trees pass by the window of the train, and there's the sweet music playing on the background. Those are simple everyday activities that they do, but they put a pleasure and a soundtrack to it. I am a big fan of this one. I'm a big fan of romanticizing your life, taking the everyday mundane things and putting intentional steps to enjoying them, so that you don't feel like you are being dragged in your life, but rather you feel like I'm a star in this movie. I'm so blessed I get to come home from work. This really used to work for me. I still apply it in my life right now, that if I'm going through something painful, I'll even find myself chuckling and thinking to myself, one day I'm going to think back to this moment and I'm going to laugh and I'm going to be at awe of how God has been in my life. So with every situation or encounter that you find yourself in, try to keep that mindset that says, okay, this is just but one of the beautiful chapters in my book that I'm going to look back to and embrace, because it's building up to the next level of my life, to savor every moment, every bite out of your meal, just enjoying life and romanticizing every element of it. When you start to capture all these different moments in your life, you start to see the beautiful story that becomes of you. We watch so many vlogs, mini vlogs on Instagrams and your TikToks. There's nothing special to those. It's oftentimes people that actually take the time to curate and to capture these daily moments that we all experience. But you'll find that a lot of people watch that, even though they do go to Woolworths, they will still watch it when it's captured. You can start doing that for your own life. Start capturing those moments and romanticize them. Put that soundtrack, text over the footage. That is you capturing those moments in your story as the main character and romanticizing your life. To hone your main character energy, you need to prioritize self-care and self-love. You need to take the time to do the things that make you feel great. These can be physical, mental, and spiritual. Putting in the effort to pour into yourself so that even as you give of yourself, the love, the attention, and anything else that you have to give, you are giving from a place of being full. You do take the time to rest when you need to rest. You take the time to read the word of God. You take time off when you need to take that time off. You are prioritizing your self-love, and this helps you be rooted in the main character that is you. You see yourself worthy of investing in because you are believing for so much more for your future. So you're investing in the present, that being your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit, your finances, because you believe that you are going to be here for a long time. You're going to receive blessings. So you do take the time to pour into yourself and to give that love. It's my faith that actually helped me become the main character in my life. Knowing that things are going to work out for my good, whatever it is that I experience, makes me embrace my journey more. And it makes me feel like I'm a star and I'm a main character. You know what just came to mind? I'm a star, and therefore I must rise and shine. So knowing my worth through Christ is one of the reasons I became very much aware of myself and taking up boldly my main character energy. When I think of God and the fact that my name is written in his hand, he foreknew me before the foundations of this earth, there's no way I would miss the main character energy when I know that of me being the apple of my God's eye. I mean, come on. So the point with this one is to embrace your spiritual growth and find your worth in something that is immovable. For me, Christ is the one place that I know my value and my worth. That is the main source of the main character energy from me. As a main character, you embrace all elements of who you are. You don't try to be something that you are not. If you are a shy and reserved girl, you embrace that. You don't try to jump out of that to please other people because maybe you have been shamed for that, and vice versa. If you are a bubbly, extroverted person, you don't try to shrink yourself. As a main character, you embrace yourself for being who you are. If someone thinks then that you are too much for them, then there's no discount. Sorry, they must try it next door. If you are too quiet for them or you are too shy, they must try elsewhere. You know, that is you embracing who you are. There's nothing more sad to watch than a person change who they truly are just to fit a certain wave of what's been said to be what's on trend. Even, you know, even on social media, you can sometimes see a person start out a certain way, but as the time goes on, you find them changing, and it's actually sad to see someone changing their personality to fit what is said to be the trend for that moment. Obviously, we all grow, we all evolve, but it's really important to stick to who you are, to be mindful of not being changed by external influences. I remember a Sandra Bullock movie back in the day that used to be one of my favorites. I think it's Miss Congeniality. She had this funny laugh that she had that had a snort to it. I know that sounds a little off, but it became one of the reasons I loved that movie. It was that crazy, quirky thing to her as that character. And movie makers are mindful of showing these silly little things about their character because that is what makes them stand out and memorable. I remember that movie. I remember the name because of that snort. I remember the actress. I remember the character. I remember what that whole story was about. And I last watched that movie, I think about 10 years ago on ETV. So when I talk about staying true to you, being authentic to you, that's what I mean. Embrace all these silly little things about you, especially if they don't harm anyone or they're not showing off unhygienic practices or anything like that. Just embrace yourself. If you have a quirky laugh or that deep voice or a squeaky voice. Learn to embrace that. That is what makes you the main character. That is what makes you stand out. This one is very controversial, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Try to limit the amount of time that you spend watching other people's lives. You can easily feel like you are a fan just clapping while other people are living their lives. Try to invest a lot more in yourself instead of being a viewer or a bystander while other people are living their lives. Interesting coming from someone who has a YouTube channel, but I'm just being honest here. You will watch all of that. Too much of anything will become a problem to you because you will start comparing yourself with those people and feel like your life is not all glitz. Just be mindful not to overdo it. It's great to watch to see inspiration on all the different elements and areas to your life, but be mindful of it so that you may maintain who you are and still maintain being the star in your own life instead of just always clapping for other people, commenting, oh, hi, sana sikape wena. No. You are a star. I'll never even comment such things on whoever's profile. I don't care. No. Oh, sikape wena. Okay, how can I translate this? Okay, we are just here. We are just the supporting role and you are the star. No. It's okay to compliment people, don't get me wrong, but you don't want to be anyone's fan. I'm not a fan of anyone, even the superstars. No, I'm no one's fan. The main character will always have a look and a feel. Start looking at your own and embracing it. Work at it, amp it up if you feel like you need to amp it up. But you do need to decide what your look and feel is aesthetically. What comes into a room when you come into a room without even being loud, but just being aware of your presence. You'll just look at what are the dominant items in your current wardrobe. How do they make you feel? Start buying more of those and just embracing that look and feel to this main character that is you. And with that, we have reached the end of today's video. Please comment down below if there are any points that you want to discuss. Add your own as well that I didn't mention on this video. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I love you. God bless you.